A very good evening to all of you. Today we are going to have another very interesting session of our professional course for financial people. And here today's topic is the payroll management and related labor law, which is applicable for the financial people or financial professionals in Sri Lanka. So when it comes to payroll management, there are several aspects. There are different ways of looking into payroll management. You can look into the payroll management purely from financial perspective, and there are HR aspects, as well as there are statutory mandatory requirements which you all should be aware of, and violating them will lead to a lot of problems. So as financial professionals, you should know not only the financial, the HR and statutory aspects of payroll management as well. And before going to the details, we'll start with basics. When it comes to a payroll, it's all about the employee's income and deduction and related statutory requirements. When it comes to employees' earnings or the components of payroll, there can be many things. Some are fixed in nature, some are variable in nature. In the sense, the value can vary from month to month, or value can be fixed throughout the months until we do a change. So depending on that, we can categorize income and deductions in different ways. So variable income means the employee's income, that particular component of employee's income will vary on monthly basis. So that you have to make sure that those details are uploaded to your payroll system on monthly basis. And likewise, there will be variable deductions also. I'll show you examples with further elaborations when we are going into the subsequent slides. At the same time, employees have fixed incomes and fixed deductions, and there are statutory contributions, which will be expenses for the company, but sometimes there won't be any deduction from the employee side, and there can be some deductions also, and we'll go into details on those aspects. If you give a couple of examples for fixed income that I was referring in the last slide, a basic salary, fixed traveling allowance, or whatever carries the name fixed when it comes to allowances will fall into fixed income category. The classic examples of the variable income, generally, if you are a salaried employee with a monthly fixed salary, it won't be a variable income. But as per wages board, certain employees needs to earn their monthly wages. So that particular part will become a variable income. This is not the basic salary, the earned salary of the wages-based employees. And overtime is another variable income from month to month. The exact amount of the overtime will be varied. And if you go into some other examples, the sales income or incentives and even salary areas, we can name as or categorize as a variable income. Like that, now we have talked about the income. There are deductions also which are applicable for employees' payroll. So there can be standing orders given by the employees, so that you need to deduct it from employee salary and remit it to another place which employee has mentioned. Those typically take the form of a standing order. Deduct 5,000 from my salary and remit it to another bank account or to a leasing of institute, something like that. And there can be, with the employee's consent, there can be certain deductions such as welfare society contribution and all. Those may fall into the category of fixed deductions if the amount of the deduction is fixed across all the months. Some examples for variable deductions. Employees may take salary advances in certain months, and depending on your HR and finance policies, the amount of salary advance a different employee can take may vary. So that it will lead to a variable deduction. And if employee has not attended to the work as per the expectations, you can impose no pay or pay cuts. And there can be late deductions depending on the employee's attendance. And there can be other things like stamp duty. Now, when you look at this entire thing, you will clearly understand before comes to a payroll processing, you need to focus on the employee master files in terms of new additions to the payroll and all. And also the time and attendance aspect of employees, because the lot of earnings and deductions of employees may depend on the way they have attended to work, which is captured in a separate area called time and attendance. So generally, time and attendance and payroll have very close links, and being financial professionals, you should be aware of those the linkages and possible controls we can have to make sure that the data is smoothly flowing across different stages in the payroll process. Now, apart from this normal deduction from employee salary, there are statutory allowances and statutory deductions also. You may have heard of a budgetary relief allowance, which was imposed by the Sri Lankan government some time back. There are two components to the budgetary relief allowance. Depending on the salary employees is getting, either 1,500 and another 2,500, or both employee may entitle as a budgetary relief allowance. And when there's a budgetary relief allowance in the pay slip, you need to mention that separately, and it's a labor law requirement in Sri Lanka. So you have to be aware of budgetary relief allowance. I'll go into details on how to calculate the budgetary relevant allowance, budgetary relief allowance in subsequent sessions. And EPF, ETF, when it comes to ETF, actually the entire 3% of ETF payable salary, that cost needs to be borne by the employer. So there won't be any contribution for ETF from employee side. But when it comes to EPF, there should be